go. Hey everyone, this is Eric with lobocomservices.com, continuing our Access training. Today, we're talking about the objects inside of an Access database. In my prior videos, we talked about opening up an Access database, the different ways of doing it, what Access you use for, and now we're looking at, well, what are the different objects inside of a database? So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and open up Access. And I'm using the database that comes with Access, the Northwind. I have this cryptic name here. Oh, I know why, because I moved it. That's why. Okay, so you get a good view of what do you do if that happens. So here I'm going to, I moved it from this folder, so it's not a recent file anymore. So I have to browse. This is going back to the last video. Let's see. I have this. And general. Access course. And bang. Should open up just fine. So great. Okay, now we're cooking with gas here, so to speak. So anyway, these are tables. Access is nice. It's a framework. Like I said, okay, Access is a framework, so it has everything combined together. So, and allows you rapid application development, RAD, or it is. So, where Excel, it's nice because it's quick to do calculations. This is not a course on Excel, but Excel has rows and columns like Access, like an Access table. If I double click on this, I'm going to see my rows here and my columns here. Access is considered a database, even though Excel can be considered a database because it holds data, but its main strength is that it performs calculations really well, and you have the autofill feature. And yeah, you could say, well, in Access we can do the same thing, but really not to the extent of it. These are different tools, and so I would say, okay, if you want to keep track of large amounts of data, if you want to have you have your everything's in one spot, so you have tables here, tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules. Those are the elements of an Access database, and they're all in one program, Access. So it's great. The one drawback with Access, and that's, I mean, nature the beast here. You can delete it easy. It's a file. It's a file. So it's a file containing all these different objects: tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules. It's great, except for the fact that you can go to the directory, and somebody with a malintent could go ahead and press delete and delete the ACCDB file, and you're out of business. You could do that with, you can't do that with something like a SQL Server or because you have to actually go to that computer and press delete. So, and that's like in another building or another office or something. But with an Excel file, you just press delete the XLSX file, the XLS file. So you can find your way to do some misdoings. You can find your own way of doing it, just let your mind wander. But we're not discussing all the black hat strategies in this video, but you could do that. So tables, where you store your information, each table should be one particular piece of information. So this table has to do with customer information. Okay, it's called customers. Some people call it, you could say, well, I like my table convention be TBL customers to name it out of the tables. Great. Well, kind of a rule of thumb is that if you're at a company or organization or working with a team, stick with whatever the team started with. So if they started using TBL, and you continue it. If you're using QRY for your queries, well, you probably didn't want to see that. Lost my train of thought here. Stick with the convention that you have. These are tables, so I assume, you can call it, we can debate about this a lot, but it's really a moot point. Each table, what isn't, is that each table should hold only one type of information. Each table should only hold one type of information. This is called the data sheet view. We also have this where you have your data. Okay, data goes into rows and columns, like Excel, rows and columns. With this database, we have, and with tables, you only store information. So anything, all your data in an Access database is stored in tables. Okay, the other objects are there just to go ahead and render that information stored in a table. Queries, question, query. Okay, it's a name for a question that you're asking of the table. Forms, a nice way of entering data into a table, because you can put restrictions on those tables. Forms are a pretty way, because otherwise you have to, if you don't have any forms, this what you get. You can enter it into a data sheet. And why not use Excel to do that? But here, it's a pretty way of entering. You could have nice calculations, form restrictions, validations, and all that good stuff in forms. Reports are a nice way of rendering information. A beautiful way you can deliver to your nice report to your boss, maybe your boss, or post nice reports on a web page, print them out in PDF. Okay, and put them on a website or a SharePoint site or whatever you're using. Maybe a lot of some big companies use download from SAP and use Access to create nice reports, because it's a granular display of information. Macros. Big debate about macros. It's a way of automating your data. The macro is kind of a little brother to modules. I don't want to go into macros because I prefer not to use them. Some people really like them. Great, to each his own. I don't really like them. I'd rather use modules, and that really gets into VBA. I have a whole website on VBA, VBAHowTo.com, and a lot of other my videos on this channel have to do with VBA and how to do some things. So go ahead and look for those things. But modules, way of coding, a good way of saying, okay, well, macros you don't have to use any coding. Everything is done for you. Modules are a way of tweaking things and making things not have to learn about macros. Way of tweaking and making your own modification, put your own flair, your own final finishing touches on it. To become a great developer, learn how to use VBA and learn how to generate modules. Okay, if you want to see here, I showed you this tables view. If you want to see everything all together, here's all access objects, and then you'll view your queries for. If I click on these, this database here, I have all my access objects all nicely displayed here. Tables, queries, forms, rewards, macros, modules. Tables. Okay, this table has to do with categories. I'm pressing Control W to close these. I don't want to save it because this has to do with employees. Okay, double click it to open it up. Double click order details, or press enter if your click speed is weird, or if you can't manage to click that fast, press your enter key. Okay, and all these all these things are hidden tables. Okay, hidden tables, show them file options. You don't really, some of y'all have them not displayed. That's perfectly fine. You don't really need to, but current database, and I'm going to show you how to show these. Way down here, show display navigation pane. Okay, that's if you want to not allow you to press F11. Okay, navigation pane options, and show system objects. I have them enabled here. This actually shows you, it's good that we're going here, because you're able to see the hidden objects, show hidden objects, and show system objects. And also you can choose not to show some certain things, or choose to make some groups. There's a lot of different potential with this. Okay, and it's gone. They're gone. Okay, I don't see them anymore. So I'm like, where's my uses ribbons? Well, it's in your system tables. Okay. Queries, questions about your tables. Okay, you have a grid. These are all the data sheet views. Each object. Oh, let's go to forms here. If from functions. Okay, that's right. Something I made. Employees form. Notice that these are beautiful ways of displaying this nice person, Nancy DeVolio. Okay, look at this guy. I don't want to go ahead and make fun of all these people, but. And a main switchboard, add nice navigation to it, open up your categories, open up your suppliers. Okay. Your reports are a way of, we already showed you how to do reports. You can put parameters on reports. Products by category. We have a double click and click on it, and I see these cool little things. I can design reports. You can make these, they're very similar to crystal reports and other types of report generating products out there. We have groups. They're very powerful. I think more powerful than you have in Excel. Summary sales by group. In that you have groups, and you have group sync, and you have a lot of functionality with these reports. Okay, they look really great. Use the right tool for the job. Summary sales by year. Boom. Okay, we get a parameter here that says, yeah, which year we talked about. All these are last century, and it's kind of old, but you can see the concepts span the years. Macros. Ugh. You tell my loathing for macros, but anyway, and all right, the last part of this, the modules, the module record set. Double click on this, and these are just different concepts. Again, these are naming conventions, MOD. I prefer to use BAS, but to each his own. I guess I used MOD back in the day whenever. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so now I'm using BAS. I guess back then I was using MOD, but that's fine. It doesn't change the code because the code is still great. Okay. All right. Use this Vba window again. If you go to vbahowto.com, I have a lot of tutorials about those. And then I have a VBA course if you really want to excel with the VBA. So that's pretty much it. I hope you got a lot out of it, and thanks for your attention. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you need some help with it, come out to lobocomservices.com, and I'd be glad to help or modify your existing database. Bye-bye.